You're sitting at home when there's a knock at the door. You're handed a stack of legal papers. Everything changes in that moment. Most people panic, some people ignore it, but almost everyone makes one critical mistake that costs them their home. I'm Vince Davis. Today we're talking about the one deadline tenants miss that costs them everything, and it's much shorter than you think. In most legal cases, you have 30 days to respond. People assume eviction is the same. That assumption is a disaster. In California, when you are served with an unlawful detainer, the legal term for an eviction lawsuit, the clock doesn't give you a month. You generally have just 5 days to file a written response with the court. 5 days, that's it. And here's the catch. Those 5 days include weekends and holidays, unless the last day falls on one. It's a lightning fast timeline. If you miss that 5th day, even by an hour, the consequences are immediate and almost impossible to reverse. The landlord can ask the court for what's called a default judgment. This means you lose the case automatically because you didn't show up. It doesn't matter if the landlord was wrong. It doesn't matter if the house has mold or the rent was paid. By missing that deadline, you lose your right to tell your side. Once a default is entered, the process moves even faster. A writ of possession is issued and the sheriff will come to post a lockout notice. That gives you another 5 days to move out voluntarily. If you don't, the sheriff will physically remove you and change the locks. But it's not just about losing your home. A default judgment often includes back rent, attorney fees, and court costs. It can follow you for years. It ruins your credit score and makes it incredibly difficult to find another landlord who will rent to you. This is why that 5-day window is everything. So, what do you do the moment those papers touch your hand? Step 1, look at the date and time you were served. Write it down immediately. The clock starts the day after you were served. If you were served on a Monday, Tuesday is day 1. Saturday is day 5. Step 2, you must file a formal written response with the court. Just calling the landlord isn't enough. Texting the manager doesn't count. The court needs to see your answer. This is where you list your defenses like habitability issues or improper notice. Because the timeline is so short, you need professional help immediately. You don't have time to think about it for a few days. An experienced attorney can help you identify defenses you didn't even know you had. We can often buy you more time or even win the case. California tenant laws are complex and they change frequently. Trying to navigate this while stressed and under a 5-day deadline is a recipe for error. We look for mistakes in the landlord's paperwork. Did they serve you correctly? Was the 3-day notice valid? These details can save your case. Remember, being served is not the end. It is the beginning of a legal process. You have rights, but those rights only exist if you exercise them in time. Make a plan. Don't let the fear paralyze you. The faster you act, the more options we have to protect you and your family. I've seen too many families lose their homes simply because they waited until day 6 or 7. Don't let that be your story. Your home is your sanctuary. It's worth the effort to fight for it, but you have to move at the speed of the law. With nearly 40 years in the legal field, I know how these cases play out. We've helped countless people stay in their homes by acting fast. We know the courts, we know the judges, and we know the tactics landlords use to rush people out. We level the playing field. When you have an attorney, the landlord knows they can't just steamroll over your rights. It changes the entire dynamic of the negotiation. Sometimes we can negotiate a settlement that gives you months to move instead of days, or even allows you to stay by fixing the underlying issue. Don't listen to friends or neighbors who tell you it takes months to get evicted. That might be true eventually, but your right to fight it can vanish in 120 hours. Every hour you wait is an hour the landlord gets closer to a default judgment. Time is the one thing you cannot buy back once it's gone. If you've been served, gather all your documents, your lease, any notices from the landlord, and proof of any rent payments you've made. Photos of repairs, copies of emails, and repair requests are vital evidence. They form the backbone of your defense in court. It's easy to feel overwhelmed, but staying calm and focused on the deadline is your best strategy. We are here to handle the legal heavy lifting for you. The legal system can be intimidating, but it is also where you find your protection. You just need to know how to enter the arena. One last reminder. 5 days to respond. Don't wait. Don't guess. If you've been served, the clock is already running. Action is the only answer. Your rights matter. Your family stability matters. Don't let a simple paperwork deadline be the reason you lose it all. Fight back effectively. We've spent decades defending those who feel like they have no voice. We know what it takes to stop an eviction and protect your future. When the stakes are this high, you need a team that understands every nuance of the law. You need someone who has seen it all. Don't spend another minute wondering what to do. The answer is simple. Get legal help, file your response, and protect your home. Call us now at 888-888-6582. I'm Vince Davis, and we are all in this together.